Good morning. It is morning where I am, and welcome to My Left Ear. I'm Carrie Freeman. It's December 5th, 2022, last month. And this is, My Left Ear is a left-leaning YouTube channel, liberal. And I do political and psychic commentary, and I do the runes. And when I'm not doing this, I'm an author and a writer, and I do therapeutic hypnosis, and I do intuitive coaching, and there are videos on both of those things that I do. And you may email me. The email is below, or it's in the community section, and ask questions. Now, I hear Petey in the back causing trouble. Let me just look and see what he's up to. Well, I heard a sound, and I hope we're okay. All right. And if you're new, Petey is my giant tuxedo cat. And he just ran outside. Okay, here we go. When I'm not here, like I said, I do therapeutic hypnosis, I do psychic coaching, and I do writing coaching also. I have a Patreon channel. I'm going to do my Patreon tomorrow. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, and I just want to thank you for your patience and for not unsubscribing. Not one person unsubscribed, so I thank you. That was my Christmas present. That was my request. Please don't unsubscribe. And finally, whatever I do here is for entertainment purposes only. So please, if you're new, subscribe and like. It helps all of us. All right. So I'm starting out with some bullet point news things, and then I've got some really good runes readings to share with you. So I'm just starting out with a few things that everybody may know about, but if you're not aware, here it goes. Elmer Stewart Rhodes, the founder of Oath Keepers, the guy with the eye patch, has been found guilty of seditious conspiracy. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that this is the hardest charge to prove. And it was a challenge and a little bit of a bet by the DOJ to go there. So it was successful. It wasn't proven in all the people that were on trial, but that's okay. Now, what is, what's the word? What is positive here is that it opens the door for all the future trials of the same ilk. And the next trial, Oath Keepers seditious trial, is scheduled for December 19th. And you know what I wrote in here? Well, no, I better not, because YouTube may not like it. Sorry. All right. Now, just want to mention this because it's so unbelievable. And there's my commentary. If Kevin McCarthy becomes speaker, and there seems to be some doubt, Jim Clyburn thinks he will. Jim Clyburn thinks he will make deals, make promises so he can get people's votes. And listen, he may even appeal to some Democrats to get votes and make deals with Democrats about things that Democrats may want to do if he's that desperate. But here's what McCarthy is saying, along with other GOP, Jim Jordan and other people. It's quite unbelievable, so I have to mention it. The GOP's first order, when they convene in January, is to investigate Hunter Biden's laptop. Not gasoline prices, not inflation, not insulin, Hunter Biden's laptop, okay? And Hunter Biden isn't in politics. All right, number two, they're going to investigate how badly the insurrectionists are being treated in jail. Yes, you heard that right. And they're going to look into impeaching Joe Biden. Now, I have two words for that. For what? Okay. What are they going to impeach him for? That is what I want to know. And by the way, if you look at violations by all the presidents, Biden has none. Biden has 0. All right. I think Trump, like, has maybe over 200. All right. Now, Trump's taxes. I just want to say that I didn't think it would ever happen. I don't know what great end this is going to come to, other than it's going to prove, I'm guessing, my left ear, his crime, his false claims, his foreign involvements with money, because he is the world's biggest grifter, liar, fraud, and con. Now, we're moving on. Jack Smith, the new prosecutor, special prosecutor. I have nicknamed him Jumpin' Jack Flash because he's so fast. He's so on it. So he got rid of the special master and Judge Cannon, which is, boom, that needed to happen. And the new news. I'm going to get back to Jack Smith. He's part of the RUNES. You've heard Trump wants to eliminate the Constitution. Oh, just that. It's just another coup. I mean, that's what he's basically saying. I want to do another coup. And he thinks, and Trump, thinks that if he talks about everything openly, it's okay. Then it's not a secret. Then he's not doing anything illegal. And he just seems to me, Trump, like he's deteriorating and becoming more manic. He's sending out these long tweets, and they're nuts. They're just nuts. So that's where it's at. Now, something new. We love Katie Porter, Congressional Democrat with the whiteboard. Katie Porter with her whiteboard. But she and another Democrat in Congress, Raul Grijalva, I think that's how you say his name, they're demanding answers on alleged Trump pardon bribery scheme. A Trump pardon bribery scheme, where 2 men were involved that may be identified as American Nazis. We'll see. But the important piece of this announcement is they're investigating, because this whole new thing is coming out about selling pardons, and that's in the RUNES in a minute. And here's just a little story that was shared by the Midas Touch, that somehow Matt Gaetz walked into a bar in Nashville and sat at the bar drinking and just kind of staring at people. And as people noticed him, they got him out of the bar. They shamed him out of the bar, and he left. They didn't want him there. So we're going to talk more about Matt Gaetz and the trafficking in the RUNES, and the RUNES are coming up in just a second. So the final little bullet point is more about crime, that a former senior aide to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, the turtle, and Rand Paul was convicted Thursday after being found guilty of helping to funnel illegal foreign campaign contributions from a Russian national into former President Trump's 2016 campaign. Now, we all kind of thought that was happening, but now proof is coming up. All right, so those are my bullet points. Now we're going to get to the RUNES. All right, so these are just the questions that come from my left ear, and I hope that they satisfy everybody to some degree, because we can't ask 10 RUNES questions. So here's the first one. How will Ukraine do in the spring and the summer of 2023? Because with the horrible winter coming in Russia and Ukraine, all of this war stuff just kind of slows down, and Russia doesn't take care of their troops, so some of their troops may just freeze to death. which is horrible, but the troops are sadistic and have tortured people, so I guess I don't care. All right, so that was the question. The first rune I got was the rune of separation, and that was very clear to me. It's separation from Russia, okay? That's really what it's telling us. Then I got the rune of fertility. And fertility marks a time of joyful deliverance. It is the completion of beginnings. So it's like a new start. It's a new path. It's a new life. It's freedom. It's freedom. And that's in the runes book. The final rune, partnership. And you know what I wrote in here? Is this mean a good partnership with NATO? Is Ukraine going to be brought into NATO? But at any rate, there is a positive partnership at hand here. And there is a caution not to collapse, not to bond too deeply into that union. Be separate, be whole, Ukraine. But it also has to do with a greater union, a divine union. So this rune, this partnership, speaks of the gift of freedom from which all other gifts flow. Now, months ago, maybe 2 months ago, I did do a reading on Ukraine in the spring, and it was positive. Then things got a little worse. Now we're going into winter. But these runes indicate some really positive stuff for Ukraine in the spring and the summer. So let us pray. All right, the next rune is really juicy. I asked, will Jared Kushner or Trump get arrested for selling pardons? Because these stories are all of a sudden popping up. So I got the rune of journey reversed. And it tells us at this time, ruptures are likely and more likely than reconciliations. The requirements of their growth may be totally disrupted. Desired outcomes may elude them. And we're talking about Jared and his father-in-law. Disruptions, blockages, and even failures, even deaths, may be rerouting opportunities. Then I got the rune standstill, which is the coldest, chilliest, most alone rune in all 25 runes. It's dark. I have picked it a number of times on Ginny Thomas and others. So it says, winter of the spiritual life is upon you, Jared and Donald. Not good. You are entangled in a situation to which you must submit. They will have no choice. There is no positive accomplishment now, and there is a freeze, fellas. You blew it. Then I got joy reversed. And it says, a crisis or a difficult passage is at hand. So this is going to get deeper with the pardons. And this indicates to me there will be consequences for them. I'm so glad this is coming out, this pardon thing, and how much money did they make on these pardons? And some of the people I think it's going to come out that two gentlemen paid a lot of money and they're identified as Nazis. They've killed animals, and more will come out about them. All right. Now we're going to move on with my favorite new character in politics, Jack Smith, the special prosecutor. I have nicknamed him Jumpin' Jack Flash because he's fast. So, will Jack Smith indict, arrest the Congressional seditionists, the people in Congress, most of who are coming back, who committed conspiracy to help set this whole thing up? All right, so I got the strength rune, but the strength rune is reversed here, and it's the rune of terminations and new beginnings. So, and then it says, may involve a descent into darkness. Some bond, association, or relationship is coming to an end. Now, the next rune I got was harvest. And harvest is positive. It's the rune of beneficial outcomes. But harvest could take up to a year. And there is no way to hasten it. But as long as it happens, it's good. And this, might not be completely accurate. It might happen before. But I have been personally very concerned that these congressional people and a few senators are just going to walk away from being seditionists. I don't think so now. I really don't. So let's keep an eye on this. And then this was of personal interest to me, and it might be of personal interest to you. Rosenberg, the guy who had a political job in Florida, it was a good job, who was involved with trafficking and all kinds of criminal stuff. My question is, did Rosenberg, we know he flipped on Matt Gaetz, and Rosenberg just got sentenced to 11 years. So he's done flipping and talking. He did it all right? And it took a long time. And because it took a long time, I want to know if he talked about DeSantis. Because I still feel there are secrets around DeSantis. Listen, even Donald Trump slipped one day and said, oh, I know stuff about, Ron that his wife wouldn't like. And then he dropped it. But I also think, I don't know what it's about, but I know there's some stuff there. All right. So here's what I got. Did Rosenberg flip on DeSantis? That was the question. And I got movement reversed. It means movement that is blocked. And it says, not all opportunities are open to you. They're not all appropriate. And you may need to avoid action. When I finish with this, I'm going to tell you what I think, what my left ear thinks. Then I got opening. A rune of renewed clarity, dispelling darkness that has been shrouding some part of his life. There may be a mutual opening, which could trigger and set something into motion. So that might be conversations that were had about Ron DeSantis. Then I got initiation, the rune of initiation. Now that's a secret. It's the mystery rune, where there's something hidden. I am not surprised, people. Powerful forces of change are operating here. And this rune has associations with the phoenix. The phoenix was the mystical bird which consumed himself in the fire and then rose from his ashes. So Rosenberg is kind of consuming himself in the fire. It is hard for me to imagine, my left ear, that Rosenberg talked and talked and talked and talked, and DeSantis was not discussed. There's pictures of them together, Rosenberg, Gaetz, and DeSantis. Now here's the mystery part. Here's the hidden part in the initiation. There's a secret. Here's what I think is possible, my left ear. They did talk about Ron DeSantis, and it is so explosive that they're sitting on this information and they don't know what to do with it. I don't know who that is that may be sitting on the information, but all I'm going to share with you is do not be surprised if stuff emerges about Ron DeSantis. I've been talking about this for over a year. The guy has secrets. We will see. So that sums up the runes and a little bit of ketchup. Not ketchup that you throw on the wall, but catch up, like catching a ball, catch up. And now we're going to move on to good evidence. The good evidence is really simple, but I'm just going to share it with you. There's nothing huge here, but it's all good evidence. I got a package last week, a gift package from Amazon, really pretty, and I unpacked it, and it was a package with 3 pairs of cashmere socks in different colors. So I don't have cashmere. They were fabulous. So I open it up, and the gift card reads, "To the lady who feeds me." And it's a thank you note from Petey. And Petey gave me the socks. Now, it really is from my friend Ida, but it was so cute. "To the lady who feeds me." That was what the gift card said. And I love the socks. They're so cozy. Then, right when I finished this big writing assignment that I had, I got a phone call. And I was invited to an all-women's writers group out of the blue. But it's not about writing with them. They do water aerobics, or they fast walk on Saturdays. And then they have a riot because all the women are comedy writers, evidently. And so the woman who hosts it was my client a long time ago. And after 3 years of working with someone, you're allowed to socialize, but you really shouldn't be for 3 years. So that's how I'm invited. She was my client, and I helped her with a bunch of things. I got a gift card to Trader Joe's, which I'm telling you, that is a fun gift card to get from good friends in Illinois. And my last good evidence is I needed a pair of like slippers, like, you know, UGG slippers. Mine fell apart. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and I got some at Macy's, and I applied coupons, and I got them for $5, and they're just like Uggs. So cool. So that's my good evidence. Lots of little pieces. Now we're going to go to the quotes. The first quote is by Friedrich Nietzsche, philosopher. He said, "Most people don't really want the truth. They just want constant reassurance that what they believe is the truth." And I would sort of identify all the MAGA people like that. They just want constant reassurance that what they believe is true. It's sad. And then I found this other quote, not by a philosopher, by English actor named Hugh Laurie, who you've seen in a million movies and TV shows. He wrote, "It's a terrible thing, I think, in life to wait until you're ready. I have this feeling now that actually no one is ever ready to do anything. There is almost no such thing as ready. There is only now." This has to be one of my favorite quotes that I've ever read. I just love it. Thank you, Hugh Laurie. So that's it. I'll be back tomorrow for Patreon. We're making incredible strides going through the runes. We're coming kind of to the end. So that's fun. And then I have to figure out what else I'm going to do. But if you joined Patreon, by the way, to see all the runes, you get to go back to my first tutorial and catch up. And then each tutorial also has a fun celebrity story. Just throwing a little entertainment in there as well. So here we go. Make peace, make good memories. Good to see you again, and thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.